So several of my recent clients have been prioritizing single-story living, i.e. a home that's all on one level that has no interior stairs. Now, throughout Portland and the surrounding areas, there are several locations where you'll find a far higher proportion of these single-story homes. So in this video, I'm going to show you the top locations in Portland and the nearby cities for you to consider if you want to ditch those stairs and find a single-story home. Hello, I'm David Backholer. I'm a real estate broker based here in Portland, Oregon, and I specialize in helping people move from out of state to the Portland metro area. Now, a recent trend I've been hearing from my clients is the need to have a single-story home. Now, single-story homes, they're always in high demand, and it's not just for people of a certain age. Maybe you have pets that struggle with stairs, or you find it more convenient to have everything on one floor. Now, single-story homes are also easier to maintain. They're also more efficient when it comes to heating and cooling. So whether it's just for convenience, mobility, or just plain preference, single-story homes offer a lot of appeal for a wide range of buyers. Now, single-story homes, they come in all shapes and sizes. Throughout Portland, you're going to find those classic ranch homes built in the 1950s through to the 1970s. You've got those mid-century modern gems with open floor plans and large windows. And also, in new construction, you'll find plenty of one-level homes with high ceilings and contemporary finishes. And also some craftsman-style bungalows that manage to pack in that charm into a single floor. So now let's talk about 4 locations across the Portland metro area where you'll find a higher proportion of single-story homes. And to start things off, we'll look at Canby in Oregon. So just 25 miles south of Portland, Canby offers a small town vibe with quick access to city amenities. Canby is a really pretty area. It's surrounded by farmland, but it has a really cute and adorable downtown area. You'll find subdivisions with modern ranch-style floor plans, often with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and somewhere around 1,400 to 2,000 square feet. And then many of these homes are newer builds from the last 10 to 15 years. Now, in terms of price points, you're looking at somewhere around 500 to 700,000, depending on the location and of course the condition and finishes. Now, what's great about Canby is that you get those walkable neighborhoods, great local shops and bakeries, places to grab a sandwich, and also access to the Willamette River. There's also the beautiful annual Dahlia Festival, the Swan Island Dahlias, for example. The farm there is absolutely spectacular. And then Canby also hosts the Clackamas County Fair and the Canby Rodeo. Now, if you're looking for peaceful surroundings with small town charm, but still want close proximity to Portland and its amenities, then Canby is going to be my top pick for you to consider. Okay, so let's spend a very quick minute to show you exactly where Canby is located, and then I'll show you some examples of houses on the market right now. So Canby is right here. You can see it's outlined in this dotted red outline, directly south of Portland. So you've got places like Wilsonville and Charbonneau. I'm going to touch on that later on in the video. Oregon City right here. Oregon City's maybe around a 15-minute drive from Canby, and you've got a few more amenities there, like larger hospitals as well. PDX Airport is way up here. It's probably going to take you 45 minutes to get there. It's a pretty quick drive because it's direct road up there. And then again, downtown Portland, around about 40-ish minutes to get to. Now, there's quite a lot of new construction going on in Canby over the last few years. And what that means is Canby really has 2 halves to it, I guess is the best way of putting it. So everything north of the Pacific Highway, generally, not quite everything, but a large proportion of this is older homes from the 1950s, 1960s, for example. And this is where you'll find the country club. You've got the beautiful river, and then the Malada River State Park. This road here, the Pacific Highway, is kind of a busy road. You've got several shopping areas there, Safeway here and a Fred Meyer. But then you've got a really cute kind of older downtown, very pedestrian friendly. Cutz's Market, really nice local grocery store, and this area is kind of cute and charming and just a nice area to be. Now, south of the Pacific Highway, especially in the southeast corner, we'll see more of this, you've got a lot more new construction going on. So you'll find newer homes from the last 20-ish years kind of south, on the south section of this river. And now if we click on my website, you'll see this is where I've got all the single story homes that are currently on the market, that are currently listed. And let's just zoom into some on this southeast corner. This is Powlish Homes. They're a local Pacific Northwest builder, and they do a really nice job. I've actually just done a walkthrough of these homes just last week, so I think I've got some B-roll which I'll add to this video right now. But yeah, really nice, attractive homes. Those prices start in the low 600s for single-story homes, and you'll go up to around 700,000 for a single story home made by Powlish. They're going to be developing here for the next couple of years, and that's, you can see, on the Malala River. Now, just east of that, this area here, you'll find no longer new construction, but plenty of homes that have been built in the last 10 years. Holt Homes, Lennar, they all had developments in this area. This one here, this is for 614,000. I've actually been through this home just last week. I've recently been working with some clients who are looking at homes in this area, who found me actually via YouTube for single story homes. This is why I kind of prompted the idea for a video like this. But this home is great. It kind of backs on to kind of this orchard. I think it's like a walnut fields. Really cute, adorable house. You'll find a lot of these 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes. Let me just show you the details. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, 1,600 square feet, built in 2019, and this is listed for around $615,000. So overall, quite fairly, 7 years old. Nice open plan living room, and then you can see just in the background there, kind of the farmland that it kind of backs onto. There is a road in between there. Okay, so that just kind of gives you a very quick idea of what you can find. Nice homes, nice primary bedrooms, great large closet space, really big closet space. But yeah, a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. And this is a real good example of what you can find in the southern part of Canby, something from the last 10 years. Okay, so now let's move on to our second location. And this is Milwaukee, located just southeast of Portland. And this is a town that's becoming increasingly popular due to its relative affordability compared to Portland. Now, Milwaukee has a rich stock of classic ranch homes. Many of these homes were built between the 1950s and 1970s, and these homes typically sit on larger lots. They offer around 3 to 4 bedrooms, all on one level. Now, prices here generally range from the high 400,000s to the mid 600,000s. It depends on the updates and proximity to downtown. And that downtown area in Milwaukee has seen a lot of revitalization in recent years. You've got new cafes, a waterfront park that's along the Willamette River, and it's a seasonal farmers market there too. You're also right on that Max line, so commuting into Portland is really easy. Okay, so back on our map, Milwaukee. This is much closer to Portland. It's in fact directly south of Portland, or southeast of Portland. Right here, this is all Portland up here, and then downtown up here. So very, very close. You're probably about a 15-minute drive to downtown Portland, 20-minute drive to PDX Airport. So overall, really nicely located. Now, one of the other great things about Milwaukee, same with Canby, is that you are also on the Willamette River, and it's a really pretty place to go for a walk. Now, this area right here, this is kind of like the downtown area. There's some cute bars, restaurants, cafes. We've got a tea house in that area as well. Just a nice place to be. Milwaukee will be fairly mixed in terms of the types of housing you'll find there. In fact, let's go to my website first. With Milwaukee, there's a lot of single-story homes. There's a big boom in the 1950s and 1960s in housing, and that's when all those single-story ranch homes are being built. So really, Milwaukee, you've got a plethora of opportunities. In fact, right now I've only got filtered single-story homes. You can see maybe there's like 20 or 30 homes in total, actually 38 homes in total in Milwaukee that kind of meet that single story home requirement. The closer you get to that kind of little Milwaukee downtown area right here, it might be a little bit more expensive, but overall prices are in that mid to upper 400,000s to around 600,000. So lots of options in that 500,000 bucket. So yeah, a big wide range of options overall. And this one is listed for 559,000. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 1,632 square feet. This one's built in 1972, so a little bit later than what some of the other homes are. Like I say, lots from 1950s and 60s. But again, very typical kind of single story home. You know, all these homes are probably going to come with a double car garage. This is Oregon, so you're going to have lots of trees in the area, but this kind of gives you kind of a representation of what you can find. Nice streets. Typically the lots may be a little bit bigger in Milwaukee than what you'll find in Portland. Lots of trees, nice outdoor area. And that, in fact, this one does have one small step inside. So that's something to keep in mind, even though it's one story, you may have the occasional steps. So something just to kind of keep in mind. Someone's gone with a Hawaii themed wallpaper in that bedroom. But yeah, that gives you kind of a very quick idea on what you can get in Milwaukee. 559,000. Homes here are slightly older than can be. These ones are going to be 50s through to 70s. There will be some from 1920s. But the single story homes are right around that 1950s to 1970s era, priced around 550,000. Okay, so before we move on to our final 2 locations, I did want to remind you that every week I release new videos on what it's like to live in various neighborhoods and cities across the Portland metro area. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, that way you'll always receive that latest up-to-date information. Also, if you are thinking of making a move here, then you do need to reach out to me. I am a real estate broker and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So pick up that phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. You can even scan that QR code. That way you can set up a one-on-one call with me. Okay, so now let's move on to our 3rd location. Okay, so our next location is Charbonneau in Wilsonville. And if you're looking for golf course living, manicured neighborhoods with a ton of single story homes and sometimes in gated communities, Charbonneau is definitely a place for you to consider. This is a master plan community on the southern edge of Wilsonville. It's about 30 minutes south of Portland. It's known for peaceful streets, really beautiful landscaping, amenities like tennis courts, a 27-hole golf course. You've got a clubhouse there, a library there as well. And you'll find everything from smaller patio homes around 1,300 square feet to some larger detached homes over 2,500 square feet. All of these on one level. Now there are homes that are multiple levels there too, but many homes in this area are all on one story. Now, many of these homes, they range from around 500,000 to 800,000, and it depends on the updates and as it has a view of that golf course. So if you're into gardening, golf, or just want a low maintenance home, then the very tidy, charming neighborhood of Charbonneau is definitely worth taking a look at. Okay, so Charbonneau is located, it's part of Wilsonville, but where most of Wilsonville you'll see is just north of the Willamette River. Charbonneau is here just south of that Willamette River. And I'm just go to the satellite view. The thing that makes Charbonneau really stand out is that these homes are all around this 27-hole golf course. Now, this little area right here, you'll see there's a little bakery, a place to get a massage. I think there's also a little bar, a little restaurant. There's a few places here. You've got tennis courts, you've got the golf clubhouse. I think there's like a library here as well for residents and kind of like a pond. But there's several small communities part of this larger community. So for example, here you'll see kind of a little driveway, and this is one community here. You'll also see several pools in the area, and these are little public, and I say public, they are for residents of the Charbonneau neighborhood. So kind of a little pool seating area, and they're not big, but you can see they're scattered all the way through. There's one here, one down here. They're scattered all the way throughout the neighborhood. Houses on the north section are going to be over the Willamette River as well. Now, it's important to note that not all of these houses are going to be single-story homes, okay? Many of them are, but not all of these houses will be. Now, this house here, I actually just walked through this house in the last week or so. This house is not directly on the golf course. It's in that southwest pocket I kind of highlighted in that Charbonneau neighborhood. And it's listed for $585,000. Built in 1992. It's kind of when Charbonneau was developed in those 90s. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,925 square feet. Now, there's also something to keep in mind that HOA fees will be in place here, and there's going to be 2 different HOAs. There's the larger HOA for the Charbonneau neighborhood. Make sure the landscaping is upkept and the community pools are there. And then there's the HOA for the immediate pocket of Charbonneau that you're in. So you might end up paying around $2,000 to $3,000 a year in those HOA fees. This house, it's a good house, good floor plan. The wallpaper may not be to everybody's choice. You'll see it in some of the bedrooms, but the floor plan I think is excellent. Great vaulted ceilings overall, nice and light and bright. So this has a large living area at the front of the house, a dining area, and then back, you can just see here there's a second living room area off the main kitchen. So you're going to get the kitchen here. And then right behind us is a second seating area. So you kind of got your formal living area and maybe your TV room one way or the other. But nice and light and bright. Many of these homes won't have large backyards because there's kind of green spaces throughout the neighborhood. And then, yeah, you can see kind of the wallpaper I mentioned, just not, simple changes just to update it. But overall, it kind of gives you an idea on what a house in Charbonneau could look like. Overall, prices are pretty reasonable. Again, this is the house, and then you can see kind of that golf course living. Very green, beautiful landscaping. It has that resort style vibe throughout the entire area. It's a master plan community. You don't find many like this in the area, but it's a great option certainly for somebody who enjoys golf or kind of in that green spaces. Okay, let's take a look at the next option. Okay, so now let's head west of downtown Portland to some of the city's most desirable and convenient neighborhoods for those single-story living homes. Now, areas like Cedar Mill, Cedar Hills, West Haven and Sylvan, you'll find a mix of those mid-century ranch homes, some split levels with main floor living, and even some newer one-level construction tucked away in some new developments. And this area is incredibly popular for its top-rated schools, access to the tech employers like Nike and Intel, and proximity to shopping centers like Cedar Hills Crossing and Washington Square. You're also close to Forest Park, and there's plenty of hiking and biking trails. Now, home prices, they really vary here. Classic ranch homes can start in the mid $600,000s, but then some larger or updated properties can easily go for $900,000 or even $1 million plus. But especially if you're close to that west slope of Sylvan Highlands. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, you will of course find single-story homes in pretty much every neighborhood. The neighborhoods that tend to be built around the 1950s through to anywhere from the 1990s, that's where you're going to find a higher proportion than average single-story homes, especially those in the 1950s and the 60s where there were those ranch homes. That's really what you're looking at. And that's why I haven't really touched on anywhere on the east side of the river in Portland. These homes here in Irvington and Laurelhurst and these surrounding areas, those homes are all from the 1920s or earlier. And you may find 1 or 2 single-story homes, but they'll certainly have basements there as well. Now, the area I do want to touch on is west of downtown Portland. So places like Cedar Mill, Cedar Hills, you've got West Haven, Sylvan here as well. This whole area, you'll find some in Oak Hills. So this area here, you'll definitely find a higher proportion than average of single-story homes. And this is an example. This house is built in the Cedar Hills neighborhood. Basically $680,000, built in 1955. So again, that kind of critical time frame I'm talking about. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,452 square feet, and it's on 0.22 acres. Again, some of these houses are generally a little bit larger lots than some other parts of Portland. Nice wide driveway, really beautiful, attractive front of the house. 2-car garage, but yeah, nice and attractive from the street overall. Yeah, really nice house. Let's see, kind of attractive inside as well, nice and light and bright. Again, these kind of vaulted ceilings, you'll see that quite a bit in these ranch style homes. Galley kitchen, nicely updated overall. But yeah, this gives you kind of a pretty good example of what an updated single story home could be like in this west part of Portland. But again, nice, larger than average backyard. Now, this is Portland. This will be a higher price point than Milwaukee that we've touched on, a higher price point than Canby and Charbonneau. This is going to be the more expensive types of homes. Because we're still part of Portland, and the proximity to Portland is what you'll be paying a little bit extra for. But this is a good example, $680,000 for a nicely updated home with great landscaping, a slightly larger lot. Still 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and around 1,452 square feet. Okay, so if you're drawn to the quiet charm farming community of Canby, the affordability of Milwaukee, you've got resort lifestyle in Charbonneau, or the west side convenience of Cedar Mill in that area, there are some fantastic options for single-story living across the Portland metro area. Now, for those of you who are over the age of 55, you might also want to consider King City, Summerfield, and then the Claremont neighborhood in Bethany. These are 55+ communities and all have single-story homes around golf courses. Now, if you would like to know more about these communities, I recommend you watch this video next. But for now, please do reach out if I can help you with your move to the Portland metro area. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.